My name is Father Michael Stala. I am the spiritual director for Hope's Garden. Today, I wanted to talk about one of the readings we just had this week as we were praying the Holy Mass. Jesus finds himself in close to the Decapolis. He's outside of the new normal Jewish areas of living. And there he meets a person who is possessed. Well, Jesus, being as miraculous as he is, was easily able to heal him. He actually has the demon jump into the swine, and the swine run over a cliff and jump into the water and die. Well, the people that saw this, they were really quite astonished. They've never seen anybody with this level of authority, seeing a miracle take place. But they have an interesting reaction. They come to Jesus and they say, "Please leave our territory." Now, after seeing him do something wonderful, this man who was very sick, was very afflicted, is now totally free and very excited. Wouldn't you instead say, "Stay with us forever"? Wouldn't you normally say, "Thank you, and we want you to be our neighbor"? But instead, they'd rather he'd leave. Why is that? Well, I suppose partially it might come down to an understanding that they liked the status quo. At least they were used to it. They were used to seeing this man afflicted, suffering, hurting himself. They didn't like it, but they were used to it. Having Jesus walking around doing miracles really means we don't know what to expect. We don't know what else could change in our world. And we were so accustomed to, so comfortable with the way things were, even if they weren't perfect, that we'd rather just keep it the same. It's an aversion to change at all, even if it seems like a good change. You can hear an echo of this when it comes to the Israelites leaving Egypt. Now they're in the desert, and they long to go back to Egypt where at least they have the different varieties of food. And Moses is astonished by this. Really? You were slaves. You'd rather be slaves? And they said, well, at least we were accustomed to that. We were used to it. But this being in the desert and letting God lead us, this is scary. We're not used to this. We'd rather go back to, as difficult as it was, the comfortable status quo. Of course, this happens to us many times in our lives where we have an opportunity to find healing and we simply shy away from that opportunity because we've become so used to the hurt, to the pain. We think that's normal. And the idea of having change is so scary that we'd say, well, maybe it'll be worse. I don't know. And so we, instead of having even the slightest hope that things could get better, we prefer just keep it as it is. The suffering's not that bad. Try to imagine having a pain going down your arm. And everybody says you should go see the doctor. And you said, you know what? It's fine. Just leave it alone. I've lived with it this long. How many other pains, sufferings do we go through in our relationships and the difficulty of the decisions of our lives, the situation of our lives? And when we are presented with the opportunity to make it better, to escape that situation, we just say, you know what, leave it alone. I don't want to stir it up. I've gotten used to it. At least I know what to expect. But Christ is challenging us. I know it's scary to go into the unknown, but you have to trust me. You have to put this down. This isn't going to help you to stay where you are. Come with me. Have hope. A scary word. Most people think of hope as a positive word, but hope means change. And change means I don't know what to expect. What if I let Jesus into my life? What if he changes it? I would say, that's exactly what he's going to do. We let Christ into our lives, not so we can continue living the way we always have, but to say, Jesus, come into my life so that I might change, so that my life might change. We invite that change in Jesus Christ. I had a chance to do El Camino de Santiago. I walked 500 miles across Spain, met a number of other pilgrims who were also on this journey. And this one young man was from Italy. And I asked him, what do you do as you walk along the way? He said, I just talk to myself. I said, shouldn't talk to yourself. Crazy people talk to themselves. You should talk to God. You should pray. He shrugged his shoulders and said, you're a priest, aren't you? Well, yes, I am. You don't have to be a priest to pray. A couple of days later, I saw him again. I said, Samuelo, how you doing with praying? I know you're Italian. I know you know how to pray. He says, well, I got to be honest, I haven't done much praying. I'm a little afraid. What if Jesus talks to me? That might change everything. And I said, it might. And I hope it does. Don't be afraid. Allow Christ to enter your life, to bring you hope. Because you know what's going to happen if you don't let him change things? Nothing.